channel, Andrea's Diaries. I'm so pleased to be with you today as well. Today in particular, I wanted to talk to you about one of the scans I had to do. This is the HSG X-ray scan. I'm not going to try to say the full name, but I left it in the title and in the description. If you are one of those who has fertility issues, I'm sure you came across this before. So this is an X-ray procedure. The procedure is using a dye, and what I wanted to talk to you about is what to prepare with before you go for the procedure, and then just a little bit about what to expect. So this procedure is looking at your fallopian tubes if there's any blockage, and is also checking your uterus size and shape, just to make sure that there's nothing wrong there. I was very happy when my nurse called me and said this procedure is going ahead. If you haven't seen my previous video, please check it out. I talk in length about the beginning of our fertility journey. As I said, really happy, finally doing something. Hopefully we're going to rule out any issues with my fallopian tube and uterus. 25 to 35% of women with fertility issues do end up having something wrong, whether that's a blockage in the fallopian tube or something with the uterus. The procedure itself, it takes about 45 minutes, so not too long. What I wanted to talk to you about is 8 things that you should prepare with for this procedure. Number 1. I would advise you Google and research a little bit. Use YouTube as well, check some videos out. Obviously you're watching this video, so hopefully this will help you as well, just to understand the overall procedure, because I'm not technically inclined, so I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk to you about my own experience with this procedure. But research to understand what outcomes there could be, to make sure that you prepare the best you can. Number 2. Make sure you check out where the procedure is being held. I'm one that is really bad at this. I don't research, and then I end up running late all the time. Then I panic and I get flustered. Just make sure you research where you have to go. Make sure you leave in time, and you leave enough time so you find a place, you can queue up, and you don't stress yourself. Number 3. I suggest you drink water. Not too much, but drink water, because you do need to have a pregnancy test done. So normally the procedure happens between day 5 and 10 of your cycle. That's mainly to rule out that you're not pregnant. I didn't drink water, and so when I got there and the nurse sent me into the toilet to get it done, I was there for so long that she actually checked on me. I just could not have 2 droplets or enough for that pregnancy test. So make sure you drink so you can do the test. Number 4. I would suggest to take slippers, not the flip-flops with the little thing in between your toes. I would suggest normal slippers. Again, I have not read this anywhere. I didn't know that I should or shouldn't. I've never been to a hospital, so I just really didn't know what to expect, because you will have to basically undress. They will give you a gown to put on, and they will allow you to leave your socks on. But I had to walk just in my socks to the theatre where the procedure was being done. I would suggest take slippers, because they will allow you to take it in with you. Number 5, my advice would be to take sanitary pads, or period pads. I personally use period pens, but on this occasion I would suggest you take a normal pad. Again, I have not taken this, and so I ended up using one that they gave me, and trust me, you do not want to use that. It's like this thick and no glue, nothing, so I thought it's gonna flip out, fall out, but it was so big, like a brick, just really, really uncomfortable. So I would suggest you take one yourself for a heavy flow, because the dye will end up, or some of the dye will end up coming out, and potentially even a bit of bleeding happening. Another suggestion I would have is take painkillers. Now, check with your doctor what painkillers. They say it should be anti-inflammatory, and take it an hour before. I personally took some paracetamol, and I think it did help me. So definitely take some painkillers, but check out with your nurse or doctor what you can or cannot take. What I would also advise is having someone with you, whether taking you there and back from there, but definitely taking you home. I didn't have. So I went from work, and then I ended up driving myself home. It is doable, but it is uncomfortable. So personally, I would suggest, whether it's your partner or a friend or a work colleague or even a taxi, just make sure you have someone taking you home to make you a bit more comfortable. And then lastly, not a big deal, but I would say comfortable clothes. So again, I mentioned that I went from work. It wasn't pleasant with my, work attire, so just have comfortable clothes with you for any procedure that you end up doing in a hospital. So those are my 8 things that I would advise and suggest you do and prepare with prior to going for the procedure. Now to the procedure. The procedure is about 45 minutes, as I said. I had a lovely nurse that, if she would have not been as nice as she was, my experience would have been twice as worse. So she walked me through everything that's going to happen, and she took me to the theatre. She put me on the bed. Your legs go a little bit higher, and the doctor explains what to expect to see on the monitor. They try to explain what sort of pain to expect as well. The doctor ends up putting the dye in. I'm going to try to describe the pain I felt, or the sensation I felt, because I don't even know if it was pain, if I'm honest. I think it was pain. But basically, it's like a big wave, like in the sea when you see the surfers. That's sort of how I would imagine the pain. So it started sort of small, and then it just overtook my whole body and my brain. And I think my brain could just not cope with the pain, so didn't know how to feel, because it was so sudden. But it's like one of the worst period cramps you can imagine, and it's such a continuous thing. It's not like a one-off shoots of pain. It's continuous pain, and I think the pain gets so high that your brain sort of like pauses or just stops, doesn't know what to do with this sensation, and ends up sort of blocking it out. It stays there for a couple of seconds, and then it becomes less, or it just like goes away, I would say. The nurse was holding my hand, and I was clenching so tight that I thought I'm gonna break her fingers, but I suppose she's used to it, because she was like just making sure that I'm okay. She kept talking to me positively. She was just so lovely. I had a tear that came out, so it was painful, but bearable. Obviously we can bear a lot of pain. It was probably a pain that I did not expect before. Then once I'm over that sort of highest pain, it starts becoming better, and that's when I could look at the monitor and I could see sort of the perfect picture of my fallopian tubes and of the uterus. And you can see the dye in it, and then sort of spreading. I didn't know if that's good or not. Is there a hole in my fallopian tube? But the doctor explained that the scan looks okay, actually, just what they expected to see. No blockage, perfectly good. And that was it really. So inside the theatre, I think I was there for about 15 minutes overall. They gave me this pad, and the doctor advised that the outcome of the scan will be shared with me at a later stage. But she did say she doesn't think there should be anything to worry about. And she explained about potential spotting, and obviously the dye still coming out. So again, not to worry about. There is some residue that will come out. A lot of the dye though ends up flowing into your abdomen, and your body just sucks it up basically. So then I had to go home. As I said, I drove myself home. It was uncomfortable, sort of the cramp was still there. What I would suggest for recovery is hot water bottle. And if you're one of those that has a lot of cramps or period pains, you will know how to treat yourself. That's all I would say. Just relax and sort of pamper yourself. I got under my really super comfy blanket, and I had my husband make me some hot water bottles, and just relax and just make sure you recover. I would say it takes about half a day to recover, and then you are like brand new, normal. Some of the dye may still be coming out next day as well, so I suggest you have a period pad on the second day as well, but it shouldn't last much longer. Now my scan went okay. I didn't have any side effects, but I had read that there could be some serious side effects: dizziness, fever, bleeding, so just make sure you check it out. Overall, the actual experience, yes, it's painful, but you are happy that you've finally done it, and hopefully it's a positive and you can rule out any issues with your fallopian tubes, and rule out that your uterus is good as well. It is bearable. All I would say is make yourself as comfortable as possible. So I explained what to take with yourself, but when you get home as well, just make sure you relax and you take your time for recovery. Thank you very much for watching. That was the HSG scan procedure for me, and the pain that I had and how I managed to recover fairly quickly, and the advice that I can give you to make sure that you have a much more pleasant experience than myself. If you are checking these videos because you have your own concerns, I wish you all the success in the world, and if you have any other questions that you think I may be able to help with, just comment below please. Subscribe and check out the other videos that I have. Hopefully I can help at least one of you to make your journey a little bit better. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Andrea's Diaries. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Andrea's Diaries. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Andrea's Diaries. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Andrea's Diaries. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Andrea's Diaries.